Time for the toast of the game, presented by Binny's Beverage Depot. Yu Darvish the man this afternoon. Binny's is the official champagne provider of the Chicago Cubs.
Completely dominated this Padre lineup. Dazzling array of breaking balls. Occasional well-placed heater.
It's Albert Almora Jr. now in center. Hayward goes center to right. Castellanos is out. David Bodie now playing second for Ian Happ. And the new pitcher is Rowan Wick. Not a safe spot with the Cubs leading by 4.
2-3-4 for the Padres here in the home ninth. And the former Padre will try to finish them off, preferably in short order with no drama. And the numbers are very good. 2-0, 257, a couple of saves for Rowan.
Swing and a miss by Martini. Down the left field line. Here comes Schwarber. Fair ball. And it'll be a double. Leadoff double. Nick Martini.
A double Martini and just a little flare. Well, off the bat, it looked harmless. You thought, well, a lazy fly ball or a foul ball. But in the final analysis, it's a 2-base hit. Just beyond the reach of Schwarber. Has been one of the victims of Darvish. He's made him look bad so far today.
Curve is low. You get those late afternoon shadows. Home plate in the sun, pitcher's mound in the shade. One and two is Myers
they've been
really
going,
upset.
They've been going all day. Yeah.
He just threw him out, and here comes Andy Green. And Andy Green will probably get tossed at some point.
Sometimes in this situation, the manager basically tells the umpire, I'm not going until you run me. I think Andy has had his say and maybe will retreat, and maybe not. Now Fielding Culbreth, the crew chief, in to mediate. Myers and Hosmer against Darvish today. 3-4 batters in this lineup. Came to bat 6 times and struck 5 of those.
So they will need a pinch hitter here to finish this at bat. Let's see the breaking point pitch. Travis Jankowski.
Well, I would say Ramon DeJesus today has been pitcher friendly. I would say he's missed a few, but it hasn't been real bad. But all the edges or just off the edges have gone the way of the pitchers. Long, frustrating day as these hitters have been dominated by Darvish, and Myers went a little too far.
1-2. Jankowski swings and misses.
Thanks for showing up, Travis.
Nick Myers gets charged with a K.
Yeah, it belongs to Will Myers. So he only has one L, but he's got 3 Ks.
And his hitting streak is over. Hosmer. That's bounced and sits right at the feet of Caratini. Two and one.
Hosmer's been really good with runners in scoring position. .357 batting average in rispy situations. It's 5th best in the National League.
Base hit to left, 1st and 3rd. Martini had to make sure it got down. RISP batting average will go up, even though he didn't drive in a run. And the batter is Josh Naylor. Ty France on deck, representing the Tigers.
Yeah, so much for no drama. We got a little drama at least. And remember, Machado's over there on the bench.
Almost hit him. Probably a Padre fan watching saying, why didn't he let it hit him? He would have gotten the tying run to the plate. Well, guys don't like to get hit. That's why. There's Machado.
Yeah, and your instincts take over. Some guys have the ability to hang in there and let it hit them, but it's human reaction to get out of the way.
That's a strike. Will get out of play to left.
A couple of Canadians doing battle here, Wick and Naylor.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Another ball that ended up hitting the umpire on strike 3. 2 down. And here's France. Ooh, keeper. I think I got him in the mask.
He got hit earlier when Caratini got crossed up. Here he just whiffs on it.
8 14 strikeouts. Darvish, Ryan, Wick. So Manny Machado is on deck with his 29 home runs, and he is the tying run. But he might not bat. There are 2 outs. Just in case, Tyler Chatwood cranking it up. Ball 1. Ball 2. Hosmer advances. Kind of goes without saying, you cannot walk France here. You got to challenge him. Three and one. We're loaded, and it will be Machado. So is it going to be Wick or Chatwood?
I would think he'd stick with going Wick here. Tommy Hodavy's going to go out and talk it over. This is Machado's first at-bat, first plate appearance as a pinch hitter this year.
And he'll have one thing on his mind. Never easy. One more look at the check swing. That looked like a swing.
Yeah, a lot going on there. Wow. It looked for a moment like the Aegis was going to call it a strike initially, and then they checked. Cobra said no.
Bases loaded, 2 outs, 4-run game, 9th inning. The pitch to Manny Machado is low.
Don't normally think of the bases loaded as a pitch around situation, but that very may well be what the conversation was with Hodavy out there with Urias on deck.
The walk is not the worst case scenario. Buck Showalter in 98 intentionally walking Barry Bonds with the bases loaded. First time he's ever done this. He's usually in the lineup. I'll use your line. We're going to pitch around him. commit.
Yeah, you don't want to channel one here now on 3-0.
Well, why don't they just walk him?
I think they feel like he would expand. And it may be that the pitch around wasn't
Maybe he just has
the mandate. They try to get him out, yeah.
Ooh. How about that? He got a check swing strike on 3-0.
Yeah. He's anxious. He wants to hit. That ball was clearly up.
He's lucky he didn't hit it.
He doesn't want to walk. He wants to be a hero.
Machado's been in the league since 2012. And this is only the second plate appearance of his career as a sub. And he just got hit on a curve. Did it hit him in the helmet?
I don't think so.
Maybe the shoulder?
Yeah.
So it looks like he's okay. The Padres get a run. It's 4-1. And the batter will be Luis Urias.
The ball just squirted out of his hand.
Machado, the tying run on base, winning run at the plate. 4-1 the score. Urias 1 for 2 plus a walk. Swing and a miss. He's got 7 hits in the 4 games.
No doubles. Urias hit for a lot of power, but can't afford to have one go to the wall here and clear the bases, so the outfield is very deep.
One and 2 the count.
Stay tall.
Austin Hedges would pinch hit. He's on deck. Two balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. Called strike 3 on the curve. Some drama in the ninth, but Cubs win. Cubs win 4-1. They get a series split. And holding serve as the Brewers won and the Cardinals have as well. So 4 back in the division, tied for the second wild card spot with Milwaukee.
Fitting way for this ball game to end with a called strike 3 against a Padre hitter as Rowan Wick finds the outside corner with that curveball.
4 of the 9 innings, JD. All the outs were strikeouts today.
Darvish got 14. Ryan got 2. Wick gets 3. That's 19 punch outs recorded by Cubs pitching here this afternoon.
So back home for the final time. One more road trip coming up. And be with us tomorrow 2:30 for a pregame coverage before the Cubs host the Pirates in the series opener. For JD and our entire NBC Sports Chicago crew here in beautiful San Diego, Glenn Casper with your final score. Cubs 4, Padres 1. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois postgame live is next. Follow additional coverage on the My Teams app.
There are times when we all need to celebrate.
Chris Bryant, towering blast off the board.
Benny's Beverage Depot, helping you celebrate the best times of your life.
Nobody does spicy chicken like Wendy's. And now, spicy nuggets are back. So all hail the queen of spice. That's right. And get a free 6-piece when you mobile order through the app.
This could work.
We're taking you home now, sir.
Are you a search and rescue?
No, I'm with the resort.
What?
6, 7, 8. You say you wanna shake the world.
Big dreams start with small steps. But dedication can get you there. So just start small. Start saving. Easily set, track, and control your goals right from the Chase mobile app.
Do it. You just got to do it.
Chase. Make more of what's yours.
The rules of aging are changing. New jobs at any age, crushing it at every stage. Numbers don't define us. 25, 45, 65 is a state of mind. Dreams to seize, more opportunities, disrupting aging. Behind all this changing is AARP, opening doors for you, for me. Too old, too young, nuh-uh, we're in this as one. So let's take on today and every day with AARP, real possibilities.
Cubs baseball on NBC Sports Chicago is brought to you in part by Southwest Airlines. Low fares, no hidden fees. That's transparency. Your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Honda dealers, as reliable as the cars themselves. Xfinity. Stay connected to your team with Xfinity, the official internet provider for the Chicago Cubs. And by Wintrust, home of the Cubs checking. Visit wintrust.com/Cubs to open today. This is Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois.
2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. Called strike 3 on the curve. Some drama in the ninth, but Cubs win.
That's right, Cubs win. They needed that. Shot in the arm back to 10 over 500. 4-1 your final. 4-8-0. Whole lot better than 1-5-0. Darvish 6-6 over Lamet 2-5. Good afternoon and welcome to Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois with Double D David DeJesus. I'm David Kaplan. Yu Darvish was magnificent.
He was everything the Cubs needed today. Now they get to sit back on their flight, relax, have a nice drink in front of them. The pressure was off them because it was mountain. They had to win this thing because you knew already those other 2 teams have won that are behind you.
Milwaukee
or you're looking at,
and the Cardinals.
And the Mets have won as well. They're making a late push. So you needed someone to step up, and it was Yu Darvish today. What a masterful performance. Be able to put pitches where he wanted to. Before the game, we looked at lineups. Hey, you should dominate this. And he did it. He was the reason why they won this game.
Yep.
and they made it interesting there.
And
But
what I loved, he was tiring. You could tell. We saw in the last inning that he went in the sixth, where he's starting to.
yeah, that cutter wasn't
as sharp.
Yeah.
He's aiming the ball, not throwing it, and then he regathered himself. Boom!
Yeah.
There you go. And he gets 13 and 14, the strikeouts.
Yeah.
And he was done for the day at 110. That was a man's effort today.
Yes.
Our BioFreeze player performance, a fast-acting, powerful pain relief the Cubs use to feel no limits. And we give it to our guy, Yu Darvish, who struck out a season-high 14 hitters this afternoon. Last right-hander to record 14 or more strikeout in a game for the Cubs. Our guy, Mark Pryor, September 30, 2004.
Wow, 2004. But, man, the way that curveball was working today, he had it going. And these young Padres hitters, he was just setting them up. He was setting up, throw a fastball here and there, mixing his curveball. Ramon de Jesus behind the plate was giving him a little bit off the edge, and he was just tapping into that, working corner to corner. And you saw the frustration later in the game, Will Myers just going off on him, getting tossed. But the way he pitched, this gives you hope. This gives you, hopefully it shows the guys behind him, whoever's pitching next, hey, this is how you do it. This is how you win and step up in a big situation, and I loved watching every second of it.
I did too. I really liked his ability to locate his breaking ball, but when he needed to, as we were showing all of those, he allowed just 2 hits, first of all, while striking out 14 in 6 innings of work. 14-2 K to walk ratio. He did not allow a run. And then Dinelson Lamet, 5 innings, 4 hits, 3 earned, 7 Ks, 2 walks. He was not bad.
Yeah.
He was not, but he was outpitched by Yu Darvish. But what I really liked was when he had to run it up, I'm talking about Darvish, 97.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to throw you a filthy breaking ball. And then I'm going to try a different breaking ball that's a little slower.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to throw a really hard cutter. And then I'm going to run one in there and watch it drop off the table of Hosmer. He was sensational.
And he threw 25 more pitches. We thought he was going to be in the 85 range. Hey, he put 110. That showed confidence that, hey, that could be Joe Madden here. I want you to go test yourself. So that's the testament to Joe letting him pitch. Usually Joe that leash would have been a little tighter, but they saw the dominance that he had. He just let him go, and that 6th inning was great to get him strikeout, strikeout, strikeout. It was like an exclamation point at the end of the game.
Loved it. All right, let's get to the highlights. Cubs strike first in this ball game. Top one, Anthony Rizzo leads off with a walk on 4 straight pitches. There's the new Cubs leadoff man. I got a feeling he's going to be there for a while.
I think so, too.
And I think he should.
Why not?
And then 2 batters later, Kyle Schwarber, who gives me a key performer win today, singles to right. Rizzo all the way around to third, and then Chris Bryant a sac fly to left. That drives in Rizzo, and the Cubs have a lead.
A little small ball, manufacturing runs. That's what you want to see the Cubs doing going forward. But it's great to see Rizzo get on, Schwarber get him over, Bryant knock him in. That's a nice little recipe for success right there.
There you go. Let's go to the 4th inning. Cubs again lead off the inning with a walk. Kyle Schwarber takes the free pass. Good job right there by Schwarbs. And then KB is going to single to left, and the Cubs are in business with nobody out. And that was a 97-mile-an-hour heater, and he tomahawked.
Yes, he's getting on top of that high fastball. I like seeing it. That means that his legs are there. He's driving through that baseball.
And then later in the inning, 2 outs, 2 on for Ian Happ. He singles to right center. Schwarber and Bryant both score, and it is a 3-0 game. And the way Darvish was throwing, it seemed like, wow, they got a great shot here now to win a ball game.
Exactly, and that's a good job of hitting right there with 2 strikes, choking up, just trying to put the ball in play. A nice little hanging slider, did his job, stayed through it, stayed up the middle. Big RBIs right there by Happ.
All right, let's go to the 7th inning. Jason Hayward takes a pitch right there and just hammers it to right center. That's another leadoff hit to start the inning. Cubs, when they got men on, were able to get him in.
Yes, they got him over. A nice little bunt by Happ right there. Just playing the game, play baseball. That's what the Cubs need to start doing. Hey, they might not be hitting homers. You've got to be able to score runs without homers. Being able to move the runner, and get on base in a situation like this, then it makes it easier for the guys coming up behind you to get the job done.
And then there's a ground ball from Zobrist, and there is the force out at second, but it allows Hayward to score, and now it's a 4-0 game, and it seems insurmountable.
Yes, that was a big insurance run. If we know the ending,
yeah,
that was a huge insurance run right there.
All right, let's go to the Padres' ninth. Cubs are dealing with a jam. Manny Machado is going to make the first pinch hitting appearance of his career. And Machado gets plunked. He was trying to swing for the downs. He wanted a home run there to tie the ball game. Instead, he gets hit by Rowan Wick. No big deal. 4-1, and then he snaps off a dirty curveball. That pitch was outstanding.
Because he set him up. He set him with high fastball. I think 3 high fastballs. And then as a hitter, you're like, all right, he's coming high fastball here. Boom, dropped off the table curveball to end it on the corner on the outside. That's a big time pitch in a big time situation. I like that going forward for Rowan Wick's confidence.
No question. Got the job done. You know, the first hit of the inning was a fly ball that Schwarber probably should have caught.
Yeah, should at least slide for it, dive for it, something.
So
kind of
Rowan Wick, even though he walked a guy, he was able to clean up his own mess. All right, let's look at the box score. Riz, an 0 for 4, did have a walk and a run scored, Nicholas Castellanos, 0 for 4. Schwarber, a 1 for 3, a run and a walk. KB, a 1 for 3, a run and an RBI. Victor Caratini had a knock, 2 for Jason Hayward, 2 for Ian Happ. 1 more for Nico Horner, who continues to be very impressive. And Yu Darvish, 0 for 2, struck out twice, but guess what? He punched out 14, didn't allow an earned run. And Zobrist 0 for 1, but had an RBI in that ground ball.
Yeah, it's a good job of just getting guys on. Get the leadoff hitter on, move them over, score. It's an easy recipe. It's just, can they continue to do that?
Tony La Russa once said, I got a chance to interview him, he said, I'm just trying to mark in an inning. He goes, I talk to my guys, we get a man on, let's mark. Let's get a guy on, mark it. That's it.
Everything.
That's what they were able to do. Time for our James & Sons Fine Jewelers Fielding Gem. And let's go back to San Diego today, bottom 7. Runner on first, Austin Allen, ground one toward first. Rizzo steps on the bag, fires to second, gets the double play. That's a great heads-up play by Riz.
Nice play, just to be able to catch the ball. You got to make sure you get the first out, catch the ball right there, look it in, and then you know he loves throwing to bases. He's going to make an accurate throw. A nice tag by Nico Horner at second base there. A nice double play. They needed that in that situation. Got him out of a little jam there.
Yep, absolutely right. They got the job done. Riz with a really heads-up play and a good, strong throw. And there is Nico Horner covering second. He makes the catch and tag. All right, time for a break here on Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. When we return, Theo Epstein with some harsh words for his ball club this morning. Plus, we'll check in on the wild card race in the National League. Highlights and results are next.
Cubs Postgame Live is presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all.
Though human ingenuity will continue to make various inventions, with the help of new machines built to do the same, of this I am certain. No invention will ever be devised that is more beautiful, more simple, and more purposeful than those that nature designs. Proud server of the most advanced machine on Earth.
At Verizon, we're building the most powerful 5G experience for America. That's why the NFL chose Verizon. Because they need the massive capacity of 5G with ultra-wideband, so more streaming, posting fans can experience 5G all at once. This is happening in 13 stadiums all across the country. Now, Verizon 5G can do this for the NFL. Imagine what it can do for you.
Mark your calendars this Friday and Saturday at Dot Camera. It's our annual Fall Expo. Manufacturer reps from Sony, Canon, Nikon, and many more will be here to help you choose the latest camera gear at 2-day-only sale pricing. It's the biggest camera sale of the year.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance, so you only pay for what you need.
I wish I could shake your hand.
Granted. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
When you look for a newer used vehicle, you need to find people you can trust.
At Mike Anderson Chevrolet, that's what we're all about.
Honest, caring people.
World-class employees.
Experience a no-pressure, hassle-free sales process.
We make buying fun.
Get more than $14,000 off on a 2019 Silverado LD 4-wheel drive Z71 for $34,969.
Visit Mike Anderson Chevrolet in Merrillville off I-65 and 61st Avenue.
Mike Anderson Chevrolet, the Chevy Giant.
See you soon.
Experience Bill Jacobs BMW in Naperville. With over 20 acres of new and certified pre-owned BMWs and one of the largest service departments and courtesy vehicle fleets in Chicagoland. Plus an impressive list of amenities, including our white glove concierge service. Lease a 2019 X1 X-Drive 28i courtesy vehicle for only $299 per month with no money down. Bill Jacobs BMW. The cars bring you in. The experience brings you back. Aurora Avenue in Naperville.
Sports Talk Live, presented by the Chevy Silverado, weeknights at 6 on NBC Sports Chicago.
Cubs fans, show your team pride with Cubs checking and an official Cubs MasterCard debit card only available at your local Wintrust Community Bank. Go to wintrust.com/Cubs to learn more. Member FDIC. Welcome back to Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. He's David DeJesus. I'm David Kaplan, by the way. Shout out to our guy Ozzie Guillen.
What's up?
He's at home watching the postgame show right now.
Where you at? Where you been, baby?
He was singing the praises just now on text of Yu Darvish, his guy.
Yeah.
All right, let's look at our Gerber Collision and Glass play of the game. Look, you can look at a number of big, impactful plays today. None more so than this one. Ian Happ, he takes a breaking ball at 88. It spun a bit. It would look like a slider that spun.
Yep.
And he rifles it to right center.
It's a big hit right there. They needed that momentum changer. It seems like Lament was really settling in, making some pitches. But this right here, I think it was 2 outs when they got this hit too.
Yep.
Big 2-out hit. Get some separation and allow Yu Darvish to be himself.
Yeah, because all of a sudden, instead of 1-0, it's 3-0, and you go,
yes.
All right, we're good.
Take
all
a
right,
deep breath.
before today's game, Theo Epstein was on 670 The Score on the Mully and Haw Show. He gave a very blunt assessment of the state of his ball club. Take a listen.
We're not playing good baseball. We're playing bad baseball. And, we're second most errors in the league, the most outs on the bases in the league. Those things chip away at your margin for error and sort of take away from your, when you do those things, you can't just roll out and have your talent show up and win games. And that's the reality of where we are at this point. If you go back 12, 13 months, it's just been marked by underachievement, uninspired play, and our failure to sort of play up to our ability, play up to our potential. I mean, we just lost 2 games in a row to a team that, I think we're more talented than. We have 150 run differential better than. We were just caught from behind in the wild card standings by a team that our run differential is over 100 runs better than. But they're playing better ball. We had chances, 4 or 5 games up, and at different points in the season, including, I think in early July, we had a chance to kind of put this thing away before the trade deadline, thinking that other teams wouldn't do anything at that point if we played well then, and we didn't. At this point in the season, I don't think any of us associated with this team are going to be, proud of what our identity is here for the 2019 Cubs, what we're known for.
Tell you what, you got to respect that guy, because he takes blame for when he makes mistakes, but he's also not afraid to put people on notice. Hey, I'm not satisfied with what I'm seeing.
Yeah, because, all right, this is a series where you were supposed to come here and do your work. San Diego Padres, you're supposed to take 4, just like the Milwaukee Brewers down in Miami. You're supposed to take all those games. They took all 4. So at a point, you get tired of watching the same thing. And if you're the owner or the president, I think it's time for him to make that statement. If Joe Madden is not going to have that meeting and really make that known, I think it's sometime as...
Right, Joe's never going to go to the media and have all those guys that travel or gals with the team.
Yes.
He's never going to be that guy go, we're embarrassing.
No. Exactly.
Theo can.
Joe's the pro. Hey, man, I'm going to pat you on the back. I want you to keep doing your thing. You might need to step back and get that someone bigger up, being like, hey, we need more accountability from the players. They heard that. They are
No
going to be like, there's no doubt
They're
about
gonna get
that.
home and go, dude, Theo blasted you guys.
They're going to hear all about that.
All right, let's take a look at some other action around the National League today. You had the Cardinals in action. They'd already lost 2 straight 2-1 games to the Rockies. They're trying to avoid being swept 3 straight. Harrison Bader at the dish in the 4th. Card started the game with 2 straight home runs. Up 5-3. He hammers his 8th of the year. Redbirds a 6-3 lead. Ball flying everywhere at Coors Field today. 6th home run of the game in just 4 innings. In the 9th, still 6-3, when Matt Carpenter doubles off former Cub Wade Davis. 2 more runs are going to come in to score. Cardinals avoid the sweep in Denver. They win the series finale 10-3. Nice. Big win. All right, Brew Crew finishing their series with the Marlins in Miami. We take you to the 3rd game, tied at 1, and Ryan Braun has liftoff. He goes opposite off a very good pitcher, Caleb Smith, for the 2-run home run. That's his 19th of the year. That gives the Milwaukee Brewers a 3-1 lead. To the 9th, Josh Hader, that guy in to close the door, and he blows a heater past Martin Prado at 96. Ball game over. His 31st save of the season. Brewers complete a 4-game sweep of the Marlins. The final today, 3-2. And in 7 days, they have picked up 5 games. Wow.
Unbelievable.
Crazy.
That is crazy to do.
All right, Mets trying to match the Brewers and going for a sweep of the D-backs at Citi Field. The first, when the Todd Frazier lifts one a deep left. It leaves the yard. 21st of the year gives the Mets the early lead. They have a 2-0 lead. The base is juiced for Juan Lagares. He rockets one to left. That is up. That is out. That is a grand salami. Get out the rye bread and the mustard, Grandma. That ball's gone. He would homer again later in the game. A big 6 RBI game for Lagares. Mets offense explodes for 11 more. They sweep the Diamondbacks, winning today 11-1. So here's the wild card standing. Nationals stay 3 in front. The Cubs and the Brewers dead even. The Mets just 2 back. The Phillies, who play tonight against the Braves, 2.5 back. And the Diamondbacks have now slipped to 3.5 back. All right, time for one final break at Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. When we return, we'll look at David's keys to the game, plus a preview of tomorrow's matchup, Game 1 against the Pirates at Wrigley.
You are watching Cubs baseball on NBC Sports Chicago, presented by Wintrust.
When you're overpaying, get it on eBay.
Are we supposed to dance?
Boy bands without dancing are just okay. Get a better than just okay unlimited plan with Spotify Premium included on America's Best Network. Only from AT&T. More for your thing. That's our thing.
So that early retirement we planned, it's going okay?
Great. Now I'm spending more time with the kids. I'm introducing them to crab.
Crab?
They love it.
So you mentioned that money we set aside.
Yeah, the kids and I want to build our own crab shack.
Ah, you're finally building an outdoor kitchen.
Yep, with room for the whole gang.
See how investing with a JP Morgan advisor can help you. Visit your local Chase branch.
Available at James & Sons Fine Jewelers.
It would break your heart to see what we pull out of here every day.
Hey, can you get You guys need some help?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
JJ Watt.
What's up, man?
How's it going?
Check it out, man.
What are you guys doing out here?
We're just doing the right thing.
What's the dream?
My dream is for people to think twice before they throw something out.
Great play, baby. I appreciate you having me out.
You can swing and mean that, man.
This is happening. Our sales have plateaued. We need leads. We need a specialist.
A lead gen specialist.
Yes!
This is happening.
Great. Got it.
This is happening.
Upwork. Hire freelancers, make things happen.
Get it to there.
Time now for our four-season heating, air conditioning, and plumbing. Who's hot and who's not against the Pirates this year? Who's hot? How about Jay Hay? 333 against Pittsburgh pitching this year. 3 doubles, 5 knocked in, 3 bombs, 10 scored. Who's not? Schwarbs. 7 for 42, hitting 167 with 17 punch-outs in those 42 ABs and 10 walks. Let's go to our Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. Key to today's game, right the ship.
And they did it.
I said ship with a P.
I like that. But Yu Darvish was their show today. He did his job. They got some key hits there. Loved how they got that man on, moved him over, scored him. So it's all about getting that confidence, coming back home. Here you go.
All right, quickly, let's check out the pitching matchup for tomorrow's game. We'll have here on NBC Sports Chicago. Cubs host the Pirates at Wrigley. Stephen Brault against John Lester.
Couple lefties going. Got it. John Lester has to be able to establish strikes in the zone. Don't give up that big inning. Be able to manage this game. He should be able to win tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, kid.
All right,
my
kid.
guy. All right, thanks for watching Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. See you in a minute on Sports Talk Live.
Whether it's on the job or in the workshop, Menards has big savings on quality tools. Get a tool that's built to last with Boss Stitch products. This 6-gallon air compressor is lightweight and portable. It's just $99. Or step up to this combo kit. It includes a 6-gallon air compressor, brad nailer, finish nailer, and heavy-duty crown stapler, plus a 15-foot air hose. Just $199 now during Menards' Fall Catalog Sale.
Save big money at Menards.
Chicago, you've got great taste. Thanks for making us your #1 beer. Miller Lite, hold true.
Okay, I have to say something. With the Capital One Venture Card, you earn unlimited double miles on every purchase every day, not just on airline purchases.
Holy matrimony! That's a lot of miles. Anyone else?
What's in your wallet?
We're pretty different.
We're all unique in our own ways.
Somos muy diferentes.
Verizon knows everyone in your family is different.
There are so many of us doing so many different things.
That's why Verizon lets everyone mix and match different unlimited plans.
That's the gamer.
So everyone gets what they need without paying for things they don't.
The plan is so reasonable, they could stay on for the rest of their lives.
Did you get that on camera?
New plans start at just $35. Our lowest price ever. Now with a free phone when you switch. The network more people rely on gives you more.
Exactly. Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance, so you only pay for what you need.
Nice. But, what's up with your partner?
Not again. Mimo, that's your reflection. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
You wouldn't do this to a room with a view, or hire a master chef to cook for your dog, or throw a pool party with hardly any water. So why would you watch a 4K TV without 4K from DirecTV? Lucky for you, DirecTV delivers must-see originals, hit movies on demand, and more live sports in 4K than anyone else. Stop missing out. Call and ask to activate 4K from DirecTV.
needed a hero, and Yu Darvish was that guy. 14 strikeouts in 6 dominant shutout innings. Cubs get a win they desperately needed, and they remain in a tie for the second wild card spot with Milwaukee. Meanwhile, Theo Epstein airs his grievances this morning, but is he also to blame? And the Bears are 3 days away from facing the Broncos in Denver. The biggest talking point is what happened exactly 1 week ago. Actually, the biggest talking point is whether to talk about that at all. And Mitch put that loss that shall not be discussed behind him and play well in the Mile High City. Or will we have to not talk about this game, too? And welcome into Sports Talk Live, presented by the Chevy Silverado. Hope you had a good day. Let's meet the panel for today's show. He is one half of that highly rated morning show, Mully and Haw. He's David Haw, the Score and the Chicago Tribune. Kelly Kroll, NBC Sports Chicago, and the guru of Pro Football Weekly and the Score, the great Hub Arkush. Okay, let's talk about Yu Darvish. When somebody needed to step up and really carry a team, Yu Darvish was that guy. Today, 6 dominant innings, 110 pitches, 14 strikeouts, just 2 hits, nary a run. He was that guy.
He was that guy. He has been that guy in the second half. And had you told people this at the beginning of the season, they would have scoffed and said, no way you can count on Yu Darvish in a pennant race. But today, he came up big. This is what aces do. This is what they paid him when they signed him to do. And I give him a lot of credit. What they said in the booth, I was listening to Ron Coomer on the radio coming in, that his curveball has never been this nasty, and you could see that today.
Yeah, he's your game one starter if it were starting tomorrow, the postseason. I was really impressed with what he did today, and this, we were talking about just a moment, this is what 2016, they had 3 guys that set the tone like this in 16, and they're still searching for those guys, and Yu Darvish is proving to be one of them. They need John Lester, they need Cole Hamels to turn it around, and Kyle Hendricks, same deal. Jose Quintana has to flip the script just a little bit after his last 2 starts, but Yu Darvish very good, and they needed this win.
You know, it's beyond frustrating that the Cubs, only other than Hendricks, they don't have a starter who can get through 6 innings with less than 100 pitches. I think that's a little bit of a concern. But they needed a stopper today, and he was that guy. This is what you paid him the money for. And actually, he's been this guy for about 3 months now, and so at least that's one thing to feel good about.
Second straight strong start since the forearm tightness. You started to worry there that maybe it was, a case, okay, injuries are going to creep up again. This is healthy Yu Darvish, though, and this is what you get when he's healthy. A little drama at the end in the 9th inning. You didn't want that from the bullpen, but this was a game the Cubs had to have. They had to keep pace with the Brewers. For an hour and a half or so, they were out of the playoff picture for the first time since, May? And that is inconceivable when you look at it because the Brewers are so hot. But they got it done today. They come home for a big homestand tomorrow. That'll dictate the course of the season.
So they come home and they get 10 games at home. Pirates, Reds, Cardinals. Do you think this team is that team we saw today or the team that Theo Epstein was very critical of on his radio show today?
It's been the team all year that's been inconsistent. This has been a 500 team since the All-Star break. But with 2 weeks left, they can be any team they want to be. If these guys want to show up to the field and play up to their potential, like Theo Epstein was saying they really haven't done consistently this year, they can be a team that not only is maybe the second wild card, but with 7 games still left against St. Louis, mind I say this, they can still win this division.
Here's Theo Epstein on the Mully and Haw show this morning.
We just lost 2 games in a row to a team that, I think we're more talented than we have 150 run differential better than we were just caught from behind in the wild card standings by a team that our run differential is over 100 runs better than, but they're playing better ball. And they did the Brewers, and they just beat us 5 out of 7 in huge games, and we put them back in the race. So it's just the inability to show up and play winning baseball for the whole to be as good as the sum of the parts. It's not right now. And if you go back 12, 13 months, it's just been marked by underachievement, uninspired play, and that applies to us in the front office too. It's just, everyone's in this together. It's just been uninspired and unacceptable, and this is clearly our chance to get it right. At this point in the season, I don't think any of us associated with this team are going to be, proud of what our identity is here for the 2019 Cubs, what we're known for. Those things we just talked about. We have, we're the only ones who can get ourselves out of this, and all we have to do is play really good baseball for a couple of weeks. So we should relish that opportunity to change the script here.
Well, that's Theo on your show this morning. When you hear that, he's being brutally honest.
Well, yeah, and first off, hats off to David and Mike, because that whole interview was compelling radio, my obvious bias considered. He is being brutally honest. He's not shirking his own responsibility, but he kind of goes after all the things they're not doing on the field, and he's the guy who sent him into the season with basically half a bullpen, without a leadoff hitter, with some wishes and hopes in a few spots. And so, I think now is not the time to really get into all of that, what they're not doing, what he didn't do. To me, the reality is that even now, of the three teams we're looking at, the Cardinals, the Brewers, and the Cubs, without Javi Baez, they still have the best roster, and they still control their own destiny. They got 7 with the Cardinals. And so was that a pep talk? Was that a scare tactic? I don't know what it was.
I wondered, because it wasn't accidental.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would say stunning candor.
Those guys heard all about it today, because every single beat writer was asking about the interview that happened this morning. How do you feel about Theo saying that you guys have underachieved, that this is uninspired baseball? And yet, those guys hear that? And yet they're pissed. They took the field upset today.
People will hear those words specifically and think that he's talking about the manager. And maybe he is, but I don't think that's all that he was talking about. The players have to take responsibility here, too. This is a shared deal. I think Theo said that he took responsibility. He said he was embarrassed about the leadoff position and the lack of production. He's part of that problem. I think he understands and accepts that, too. It's not just Joe Madden. Joe Madden may end up being the scapegoat for this season because of the contractual realities and not renewing him. But when he's talking about underachievement, there are some guys in that clubhouse over the past several years that have been underachieving for a lot of different reasons. But that's very indicting of not only one person, it's a collective group.
As I look at this, and by the way, here's our Ank and Law Sports Talk Live poll question. Who in the Cubs organization are you most frustrated with? Players, Joe Madden, front office. Go to NBCSportsChicago.com/vote. I would vote players 1, front office 2, manager 3.
That's today. You sounded yesterday like you would go manager 1, players 2, front office 3.
I said yesterday as well. Players, front office, manager. But that doesn't mean I won't take a micro look, not a macro, a micro look at a move and completely disagree with Tony Kemp in the leadoff spot.
I'm with you.
Or leaving Steve Cishek in when he clearly doesn't have it.
That's the thing. You can pick on Joe Madden specifically for that move or a bullpen move, David Phelps here or Tony Kemp there.
But he's the least of their problems.
He is the least of the problems. It begins with the players. It always begins with the players in professional sports.
Well, and guys, even with that move, you've left Madden grasping at straws. He's tried everybody else in the leadoff. I don't want to see Kemp there. I was kidding with you and DeJesus in the green room before. I've watched almost every inning of every game, and I've seen Tony Kemp get 1 hit since he got here. So I don't know why he's there. But I got to tell you, and by the way, even I know I saw your tweet. You were upset in the 8-8 game. Joe Madden didn't walk 3 sub-200 hitters, and he had gone through 6 pitchers. He had his best guy out there. I don't know what else he was going to do. I usually am very unhappy with the way Madden handles his bullpen in particular, and sometimes yanks his starters too soon. I'm not so sure Madden hasn't had one of his better years with everything he's had to deal with here. I'm hard-pressed to identify a lot of moves where I'd say, that's on Madden, get rid of him. He's going to lose the job because of the money he makes, not because he's a bad manager.
I thought one of Mully's best questions to Theo today, or was it you that said, when we hear things are going on that we just don't know about, what are some of those things? I'm telling you, those things are all over in the bullpen. Mm-hmm. Guys that can't pitch on this day, guys that don't feel right on that day. They went out there and they're a little tight here, or they were watching their number of pitches, and he's not dealing with just Craig Kimbrell, being around. It's other guys that aren't feeling right, that aren't there, and that's where it's hard for him to play matchups when they're not at full strength.
Thank you, Kelly.
You're so welcome.
All right, last Thursday night, Mitchell Trubisky went 26 for 45, 228, threw a critical interception in the back corner of the end zone. Oh, wait a minute. No, I'm not supposed to talk about that. They told me not to talk about that. Will Mitch improve on his opening night performance and have a game that we can talk about? Or will we need to forget about Sunday's matchup in Denver as well?
Sports Talk Live is brought to you by ChevyDriveChicago.com. To be the best, you have to beat the rest. See why Chevy is once again the #1 best-selling brand in Chicagoland, now 8 years running.
This is the Chevy Silverado with the world's first invisible trailer.
Invisible trailer?
Hop in. Silverado offers an optional technology package with up to 15 different views, including one enhanced view that makes your trailer appear invisible.
Wow, that's pretty sweet. Cool.
Where's the trailer though?
Or get a total value of over $97.60 on this Silverado All-Star without optional tech package or enhanced invisible view.
Visit ChevyDriveChicago.com today.
Exactly. Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance, so you only pay for what you need.
Nice. But, what's up with your partner?
Not again. Mimo, that's your reflection. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Run with us in the unstoppable John Deere Gator XUV 835. Because when others take rain checks, we take the wheel. Run with us. Search John Deere Gator for more.
Are you overloaded with debt, but the word bankruptcy scares you? How about debt elimination, consolidation, or fresh start? How about I have a plan and I can sleep at night? How about bankruptcy? I'm attorney Peter Francis Geraci. Search Geraci Law. Read over 12,000 five-star reviews, then click or call or stop in to see if bankruptcy is right for you. When you need to be debt-free, dial 1-800-CALL-PFG.
In the time it takes to watch this simulated fire, your house could be lost. The room on the right is protected by a home fire sprinkler system. The room on the left is not. Fires can get out of control before help arrives and can become deadly in less than 2 minutes. A home or building protected with a fire sprinkler system is like having a firefighter there 24 hours a day. Protect what you value most. Contact Sprinkler Fitters Local 281 today.
What if buying a car was more than just buying a car? What if buying a car came with convenience and options? And what if buying a car meant being a part of the community?
The Rohrman Auto Group is donating a portion of their profits to child cancer charities.
We've always believed that buying a car was about more than just buying a car. That's why there's only one, Bob Rohrman.
The 3rd-and-1 RPO the other day, or Matt talked about it. What can you walk us through just kind of everything you're evaluating when you're deciding whether to give it or keep it for a throw?
No, I was told not to talk about the last game.
Okay, last Thursday's loss to the Packers was one to forget for Mitchell Trubisky. And it sounds like somebody forbid him from talking about it at all. Today, Matt Nagy tried to explain that situation.
So he just drifts, and as Trubisky
To clear that up, I think that was a taken the wrong way. First of all, that wasn't. He's being told so much stuff right now in regards to next play mentality, right? That's what we worry about. So I don't know exactly what was said in regards to what he said. I didn't watch it or see what he said other than what you just said, that he's saying that he was told not to.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, so, well, I can tell you, let me just tell you this. It didn't come from me, okay? So what I'm trying to get to is that I think the message within our building, not just to him, but to everybody, is we're moving on. We got to worry about what's up next. Didn't something happen over training camp? Remind me what it was, where you guys thought he said something about sweeping the sheds or cleaning up didn't you guys say he ended up saying something about, you asked him how he's going to get better as a quarterback and he's going to keep his locker clean, right? See, he's very honed into when he hears something, that's what. So to me, that's how I took it.
Is it very literally?
Takes what? Well, yeah, he's keeping his locker clean right now. Yeah.
But so for him to share that with us, we assume that that's what he was told, right?
No, I'm not saying he wasn't told that, but what I'm trying to say is that I think the message that was being portrayed to him was that, listen, we're on to the next deal. I think and it probably came out different than what he wanted it to come out, if that answers that question.
Okay, you guys are up there all the time.
My goodness.
I was just telling David, I was actually in the front row center. He wasn't talking to me, but it was me he was kind of smiling at when he gave that answer. I think what Matt just said is very believable. I think that they have taken the position, 24-hour rule, we're moving on, We're looking forward. I think that Mitch didn't want to answer that question because he had already answered it once before and said, I blew it. It was an RPO, and instead of handing the ball off, I pulled it back. And so he seized on that as a way to do it. Now, why he turned and looked at Adam, that was the strangest thing I've ever seen, and I've been doing this a long time. And so what it leads me to, guys, is that we don't know how mature this young man is. We don't know his personality away from the game. We don't know how he reacts to these things. I think that he is so overwhelmed right now with what they're trying to do with him and the way they're trying to program him. I believe what they got to do is take a step back. Let Mitch be Mitch. Let him go out and play a game. Give him the game plan. Let him go play. See what happens.
That's the narrative they've created, and that's the unfortunate thing. That's why this is so clumsy. You don't want your head coach explaining this a day later. Can you imagine Belichick or John Harbaugh or Mike Tomlin going to the lengths to explain something as silly as this? You got Mitch Trubisky yesterday looking for directions from a PR guy. You're a third-year NFL starter. Act like it. Grow up. It's time to mature. This is nonsense. Play well in the field. Everything will take care of itself. The fact that this is an issue at all, it does speak to some uncertainties about Mitch, about how well he has progressed or matured. We don't know that yet, and we don't know that now because they've made this an issue and it didn't need to be one.
We're on to Denver.
Okay. Thanks, Bill.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Do you believe David Montgomery will be the bell cow running back Sunday in Denver?
Bell cow, no. I think he's going to get more touches. I think he has to. But I think unless he breaks out in the first quarter, they are bound and determined to use all these backs. And I'm trying to see what they see in Mike Davis. I've seen almost every. I don't see it, but I do see it in Tariq Cohen. And Tariq Cohen cannot be strictly a slot receiver. What nobody's talking about is why did Anthony Miller only get 16 snaps in that Packers game? We were told he was healthy. He's supposed to be in the slot.
Why did Cordero Patterson line up as a wide receiver when he couldn't do it in Minnesota?
On 3rd and 1.
Well, that one I'm in the minority. I like what they're doing with Cordero Patterson. It's what he was brought here to be. Put him all over the field and let the defense guess where he's going to be next and when he's going to get the ball. That I don't have an issue with. But with Tariq Cohen, you want him to get 12 to 15 touches a game, but you want half of them to be handoffs and half of them to be passes. That sets up the other two backs. So I think the answer to your question, Montgomery definitely needs to touch the ball more, but I don't think he's ever going to be a 20-carry guy.
I want to see more Montgomery. I think Josh Jacobs was a rookie running back that had success against the Broncos. I'd like to see the same thing happen with Montgomery. More importantly, though, rather than who gets the carries, is that this offensive line plays up to its capability. That was the biggest difference and kind of been overlooked in the first game. That offensive line is better than it showed. It needs to dominate the Broncos' defensive line and run the football.
Quick note on Josh Jacobs, though. He did most of his damage catching the football. He had one nice run.
But he carried it 23 times.
Yeah, I'm saying, but he did more damage when they threw the ball to him. So, and that's what David Montgomery can do for you. So it's not about giving him 20 carries. That's not the issue. The issue is getting the ball in his hands and taking advantage of all these weapons that you brought in. The only weapon you used Thursday night was Allen Robinson.
Okay, I know that Denver has not lost since September of 2013, a September home game. But 1 to 53, the rosters are not close. Do the Bears win this football game?
I think they do win the football game. I think they have a better game plan. I think Mitch plays better. The altitude is a factor early in the season when these guys aren't in game shape yet. That's the thing that you got. That's why Denver's record is as good as it is. But you look at this Denver defense, and we just say, oh, it's the Denver defense, and now they got Vic. What they don't have is a lot of the great personnel that they've had the last 5 or 6 years. It's not a special group. If they can handle Miller and Chubb the same way the Raiders did, then yes, the Bears win this game.
You saw the conditions bother the Bears last year when they went down to Miami. That was real. I think this is going to be real as well, but the Bears defense too dominant, the Broncos too limited. I think the Bears win this. I don't want to say handily, but it'll be probably something like 24-13 I could see, and Mitch will be more efficient. They won't ask him to do that much.
All right. NASCAR's Cup Series playoffs begin on Sunday, and everybody's looking to dethrone the defending champ. Joey Logano joins us to talk about being the hunted, and I'll ask him if winning a second consecutive championship might be sweeter than winning his first.
Get ready, Chicago.
We've got something big coming.
Starting October 1st, NBC Sports Chicago will be the only place you can watch the Blackhawks. There's the pass. He shoots, he goes!
The only place you can watch the Bulls.
Give me that ball, Zach LaVine!
the only place you can watch the White Sox.
Deep left field.
Starting October 1st, NBC Sports Chicago becomes your only home for the Blackhawks, Bulls, and White Sox.
Chicago Weather Check. Who's the team that's been watching our skies sunrise to sunset together for over 40 years? Brent Miller and Andy Avalos. In fact, they're the only team whose forecasts are scientifically proven most accurate. But who's counting? Good question. A bunch of weather geeks, analysts at WeatherRate. Turns out, experience does count. No one else in town can say that. Brent Miller, Andy Avalos, and the NBC5 Storm Team. Chicago's one and only most accurate.
If you or a loved one has mesothelioma or any other asbestos-related cancer, call now. Asbestos manufacturers sold deadly asbestos materials to thousands of companies, putting workers at risk. An estimated $30 billion in court-ordered trusts have been set aside to pay out claims to asbestos victims. You may be entitled to a portion of these funds and receive compensation without filing a lawsuit or ever going to court.
For your free legal consultation, call 1-800-682-0856. That's 1-800-682-0856. I'm a non-attorney spokesperson.
Attention diabetics. If you or a loved one took Invokana, Jardiance, or any other SGLT2 inhibitor drug and were later diagnosed with Fournier's gangrene of the genitals, call right now. You may be owed significant compensation from the manufacturer. Call Nightline Legal to speak with an experienced attorney for a free consultation. Call right now.
Call 1-800-683-8564. Again, that's 1-800-683-8564.
1-877 Cars for Kids. K-A-R-S Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate online at carsforkids.com. That's cars with a K. Pickup is quick and easy. You'll get a vacation voucher and maximum tax deduction.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate.
Also accepting boats, motorcycles, RVs, and real estate donations.
Chevrolet fans, make sure you get out to Route 66 Raceway this weekend as the Super Chevy Show finally returns to Joliet. Fans can enjoy a bustling midway, great food, swap meet, exciting racing, and a judged car show. Get more information at Route66Raceway.com. Also this weekend, the quest for the NASCAR Cup Series Championship begins in earnest. Playoffs kick off in beautiful Las Vegas, 6 p.m. Central Time on NBCSN. 16 drivers are competing for the Cup. 15 of them will be looking to dethrone the reigning champion. He is with me now. Joey Logano, driver of the number 22 Ford, joins us on Sports Talk Live. Joey, what's it like being the hunted rather than the hunter? Is that a good position, or would you like to be more anonymous at this moment in time as you start the playoffs?
I think you're always hunting a championship. It doesn't really matter. I don't really care what everyone else thinks. I'm just trying to get out there and accomplish the same thing we really accomplished last year. And feel better about it than I did last year even. I think we got a solid team, same team that won it last year, so I feel good.
As you look at battling all these other great drivers and it's this coveted championship, would championship number 2 in a row mean more than last year's title? Because now, wow, to do it 2 in a row would be doubly hard from my seat. Now, again, I'm not a driver, but to get back and win again is more impressive than maybe catching lightning in a bottle the first time. Is that fair?
I don't know. It's nothing like your first one, right? But I'll let you know what that's like when we get there. I guess it's hard to say what 2 championships is like until you get it. So, like I said, I feel confident we can do it. I feel more confident this year than I ever have. So, I look forward to that. But, heck, I don't know what it's going to be like until it happens.
Joey, I do a lot of baseball broadcasting. I'm also a former basketball coach, and analytics play a huge role in those sports. The Cubs manager looks at his card and goes, oh, that guy in high leverage throws this pitch the X percent of time, and here's what his batting average is and his on base. Do you use analytics at all in NASCAR? And do you use tape? Do you look at yourself driving to see, oh, boy, why did I do that? Why did I make that move?
Yeah, I don't know. I do, yes, to answer the question, but I think in a different way. The analytics of of kind of moves that are made and why certain drivers do certain things or certain cars are able to do something that other cars can't. Those are more the things that I look at, not as much stats. Stats themselves are great, and they're fun to look at, but it doesn't affect the way I race the car or the way we prepare for a race. It's more or less just kind of looking at tendencies and kind of going through what we've gone through in the past and how to become a stronger team that way.
As you look at battling now for a championship and you try and figure out the best strategy each race, this track's set up this way, my car's going to be set up that way, are there races that you ever get into where you think, okay, if I win, that's great, but here's what I have to do just to score points, advance to the next round, survive and advance? You don't have to win necessarily by a blowout. You just got to make sure you're alive the next race, correct?
Yeah, I mean, to keep it simple, the goal is to maximize the day. Is to maximize whatever's coming your way. Obviously, the goal is to win, right? That'd be maximizing the day. But if something happens, like you have maybe a tire goes down or some adversity you got to fight through, the goal is to maximize what you got left and to get everything you can out of it. And that's what's going to keep you through these playoffs, right? If you can just have solid finishes and score some stage points as well, throughout these first couple rounds, it puts you in a good spot. But eventually, you got to win. There's at least one race, and that's in Miami. If you get to the championship 4, you have to win that race. That one's a given. But there's other races that really help the overall cause. Last year we were able to win at Martinsville, and that's what really set us up. To put us in the championship 4 a couple weeks early, let us focus in on one race instead of 2 races, trying to get there while everyone's got their tongues hanging out trying to get in. We were already in and focused on one race, and we're fresh when we got there. That's a huge advantage to have, so you go for the wins like that.
Best of luck to you. I hope you have a great run this weekend. We'll be watching, and thank you for taking time for us. I know how busy your schedule gets.
All right, sounds great. You guys have fun. We'll see you
too.
soon.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.
All right, Joey Logano, and that is a wrap for Sports Talk Live, presented by our great corporate partners at the Chevy Silverado. Have a wonderful evening. We'll see you right back here tomorrow after Cubs Postgame Live. Have a great one. See you.